Okay, first of all, I would like to thank you, all of you here, for being here and listen to me for the next 7 minutes, thoughts about how to provide more value to the company, to your company, and also the smart city here in Hong Kong. I guess I need to, hold on, okay. Even give a big thank you to Mediazone for giving me this honor to be here with you and receiving this award, and it's a privilege. Especially 2019 marks my 20th year doing what I'm doing in a training consultancy. And beforehand, I was an accountant, and I do that for almost like a decade before I started off with my training. So people here basically know how old I am if you count correctly. Hey. This is some of the work that I do that really changed my life, because I do training. That's what I do. But meeting the clients' training needs is something that is so inspiring. In fact, I learned a lot from those engagements that I've done here and there for multi-corporations, small corporations, NGOs, and even to some associations like Hong Kong GCC and others. Today I want to share with you two things, because we only have 7 minutes. Two things, basically two questions. First question is, where is our business world heading in the next 10 years? Do you all know? Do you have a crystal ball at your office or at home to tell the answer to this question? I don't. But this is one of the most frequently asked questions from most of my clients at the beginning of their training years, because they always need to spend their training budget. So they will come to see, Harry, do you have anything to offer? Well, of course, riding on Glenn's sharing earlier, there are two aspects. One is what we call the outer technologies. I'm sure you're all familiarized with these three items here, especially the third one, which is up and coming, is already in here. For example, the Amazon Web Services. Is a lot of people want to get into, diving into, learning more about it, so that how to benefit better to the company and how to benefit the smart city here in Hong Kong. But what I'm here to try to talk to you more on is on the second area, which is from the World Economic Forum. There are top five skills that we all need to possess as human beings, as leaders in the company. If you look closely, the first three has a lot to do with thinking, with mindset, problem solving, critical thinking, creativity. And the second part of it has a lot to do with people skills, like people management and also coordinating with others within and with your stakeholders in your company. So if you think about that, let's talk about thinking for a little bit. I don't know if you have heard, our CE has been promoting big time in terms of design thinking for the past 2 years. She addressed it in her policy address in 2017 and 18. Promoting design thinking is a big thing, innovatively, to benefit Hong Kong as a smart city. But the incubator globally is someone called 𝗘𝗀𝘆, who is the founder of 𝗑𝗀𝗄. 𝗑𝗀𝗄 is a very famous worldwide top 10 design firm, founded in 1991. And since then, they have won a lot of awards and whatnot. They are the incubator, the promoter of innovation in the global world. So design thinking, what is it? Basically, a very simple definition is an innovative problem-solving process in which we try to find the true and the unknown problem to solve for end user. So how do we know whether it's right, whether it's no? We need to start off basically with human-centric, customer-centric, based on the people, based on the end users, instead of like living in the silo, thinking what we should be thinking is best for the clients. And that is why one of our main focuses in training at WYH International Consultancy is to write on the mindset and the concept about design thinking, together with the backbone process using the MIT process, and also some of the special items that I have been using for the past decade on NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, as well as Lego series play facilitation as a method to bring out the concept of design thinking. And these are some of the work that we have been doing for the past years. You see a lot of Lego bricks building, but more so is the people talking, the facilitation that is going on. And I think these are the most important to find out the real, the right, and the unknown problem to solve for themselves as a company and for their clients as well. Second point I want to share with you a little bit is how can we get from good to great? I know this is very old school. We are all good here. but how can we be better? Okay? Well, to illustrate that, since we have been sitting around for the past, I don't know, 40 minutes or so, let's get into an exercise very briefly, okay? To illustrate this point about good to great. First of all, I would like you to join me to basically grip our hands like this. Can you just basically raise your hand? And the second I say clap, then you basically just clap your hand like this, okay? Okay, 1, 2, 3, clap. Okay, good. Okay, second time. This is just warm up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, clap. Please, one last time. Okay, everybody. Okay, I see somebody are being lazy, huh? Okay, okay, 1, 2, 3, hold it. Okay, just hold on to it for a second. Be aware, for the past 3 times that you grip your hand, did you have the same kind of grip hand movement? Which means what? For example, in my case, my left hand is above my right hand when I grip it. So how many of you, all 3 times, have the same kind of movement? Most of us, right? Okay, let's try it by just basically swap our hands. If it's one is bottom, now it's on top. Okay, for a second. How does it make you feel? Well, I'm sure a lot of people will think it's a little bit uncomfortable. It's a little bit weird. To some extent, it's not my arms and hands, right? What I'm trying to illustrate, thank you for participating. What I try to illustrate to you is mindset, which is what we call the inner technologies, okay? We need to get out of a silo, okay, in the box thinking. To get out of the silo, you have to start working more on your mind. That simple exercise just illustrated that, okay, no matter how many times you do, basically you just get used to the old same pattern. Okay? But by trying to do it in a different way, although it's a bit weird, uncomfortable for a little bit, but I assure you, if you start doing the new movement, the new hand grip, for another 2 minutes or so, you'll get used to it. And then you'll become broader, you become more, you become better. That's what I mean by improvement or empowerment by means. Because simply, at work, I do see there are 3 types of people. Okay? The one is called the period people. If you come across like mingling and stuff like that, you say, oh, this is it. Okay? When you say, how are you doing? They will say, well, same old lah. Okay? These are the people who are saying, this is for me. There's no way to be better. The second type is a type where we call the question mark people. Those are the people always complaining, being victimizing themselves. How come it's me? Why didn't I get the opportunity? They're always complaining and complaining. So trustfully, all of us here is the third type of people, which is exclamation mark. There must be more. So what more that we need to know and be better at that? Okay. So the question before I close is, which one of you is more you up to this point? And who do you want to become from here onwards? So I leave you with that thought, and thank you, because Luigi said my time is up. Okay, thank you. I do need to close though. There's after Q&A.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we're going to do a few questions.
A few questions. Sure.
And then you want to do some Q&A afterwards?
Yeah.
As well? Okay, so why don't we do this? Does anybody have any questions right off the bat? Okay, let's start with mine.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
Okay, so what are the main features that smart companies look for in a corporate coach?
Well, more and more they focus a lot of mindset because simply they see the hardware is there, technology is out there, but the people, how much they're motivated, engaged, and be happy at what they do is an issue. So turnover is one of the key areas I work on a lot because many companies has the turnover issue. Sure. So soft skills like the positive thinking, employee engagement is getting more and more popular.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, and how about my second question here?
Sure.
What challenges do you face in coaching tech-savvy executives today? Because, you know, they can be picky.
Well, I don't see people having much differences in terms of how techy they are, how senior or junior they are. They're all human beings. And human being has needs. And they have fears. They have pain points. As I earlier mentioned, design thinking is a concept where we have to be customer-centric. We don't presume that they have such and such issue. Through coaching, as you mentioned, they will spell it out. So the key about the coaching is about facilitating them to talk about their pain points. And thereon, having right on their own resources to solve the issue. Well, as a coach, we don't offer any solutions. We offer ourselves as a mirror and help them to reflect.
Sure. Okay, wonderful. Well, those are my questions. Did you have some Q&A that you want to...
No, I just want to close with a few insights.
Okay.
Very, very quickly. Okay. Well, first of all, today's slides I can email to you. If you leave me with your name card, I just sit over on table 5, or you can just take it, the QR code right now to just keep in touch. But what I want to share with you very quickly is to ask you with this question. Here, are you happy or in despair? In Hong Kong, in your work, in life, are you happy or in despair? Where would you look? If you're sitting in the bus, are you on the left-hand side or you are on the right-hand side? It's up to you. You always have that choice. Okay? You always have that choice to become better and be happier. So, my one more thing to share is be well yourself. It's very important nowadays to, first of all, treat yourself well. Okay? Treat yourself. And then help other people win. And therefore, we can become an even more smarter city in Hong Kong. Thank you.